And now we are going to enter into the panel section. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we have two panels. And the first one is the panel on AI and disaster risk knowledge. And I'm going to hand over to the moderator of the panel, my good friend and former colleague for many years in the UN, Loretta Hieber Girardet, who will introduce the panelists for this panel. So thank you very much, Lori, for making the time to be with us and for moderating this panel. And I now pass on the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Ricardo. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, and welcome to the first panel on governing AI-enabled risk knowledge in complex disaster systems. As mentioned, my name is Loretta Hieber Girardet, and I am the Chief of the Risk Knowledge Branch at the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. So, as we've just heard over the last 45 minutes, we are meeting today at a moment of extraordinary technological acceleration. Artificial intelligence, AI, is no longer a future prospect. It's already shaping how we understand risk, anticipate crises, and respond to disasters. And for those of us working in disaster risk reduction, this presents really a very profound opportunity. AI is allowing us to process vast amounts of data, from climate signals to social vulnerability, in ways that were simply not possible before. It's helping us move from reactive approaches to anticipatory action, from fragmented data, and to really integrated risk knowledge, and ultimately from crisis management to prevention of disasters. Already, we are seeing use cases that's transforming the way we work. And we heard already around impact-based forecasting, which for us is a really important step for early warning systems. But we also have now detailed connectivity maps to improve early warning dissemination and improve flood forecasting. We are benefiting from new partnerships with the private sector, including Google and Microsoft. But we're also trying to ensure that the innovation and AI solutions coming from the global south are shared and widely disseminated. And UNDRR is doing this by making available an online repository of open source AI solutions for use by all, but also by providing capacity building on AI for disaster risk management agencies. At the same time, we recognize that this transformation is not without risk, and we've heard about this already today. If we're not careful, AI could reinforce existing inequalities, leaving behind the very communities that we need most to reach. If we embed bias in our models, obscure decision making, as we've heard, or concentrate power in the hands of a few, this is a danger. In fragile and data scarce contexts, the misuse or the misunderstanding of AI could even lead to harmful decisions. So the question before us is not whether we use AI, but how. How do we ensure that AI strengthens, not replaces, human judgment? So the human factor we've been talking about. How do we make it transparent, inclusive, and accessible for all? And how do we govern it in a way that builds trust rather than erodes it? So, our task is to harness AI as a public good for resilience, grounded in ethics, guided by local realities, and focused on those most at risk. And if we get this right, AI can help us not only better understand disasters, but prevent them from becoming tragedies. So, as part of this conference on AI and disaster risk reduction, this panel will explore how AI is transforming the way we understand, model, and act on disaster risk, particularly in the context of early warning systems and decision making. And we will begin with 3 expert presentations, followed by a short moderated discussion and audience Q&A. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Jono Anzalone. Dr. Anzalone brings over 2 decades of experience in academia, climate action, and international emergency response. He has held key leadership roles in organizations such as the Climate Initiative and the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. And his presentation will explore how AI can strengthen disaster risk knowledge by moving beyond predictive modeling into decision-grade risk intelligence that we've been hearing about that supports public trust, accountability, and operational readiness. So, Dr. Anzalone, the floor is yours.